Well, who doesn't love the flavour of preserved lemons? But they cost an arm and a leg, and they're just so easy to make yourself. And what you're going to need is a jar. That's a good start. And then as many lemons as you think are going to fit in your favourite jar. Take a guess at it. But what you'll need to remember is you're going to have to juice some of them. Now, you don't have to. If you get caught and you haven't got enough to actually add juice to the container, then you can just add salt, and I'll show you how to do that. So what I did last night is I cut up the lemons and put them in the jar because I wanted, you have to wait overnight to see how much juice comes out of the actual lemon itself with all that salt before you go adding stuff. So I just cut them up and put it in there last night. So what you basically do is get a lemon, take off the knobbly bit at the end, and then if you've got a little lemon like this, then cut it into quarters, but don't cut all the way through. Just cut so that the whole thing still stays together like so. And then you get your salt. It works out to be about a tablespoon per lemon, but it doesn't really matter. And somehow get your fingers caught in there so you've got them all splayed open like that. And you pack salt down into the lemon like so. I've been making these for years. I absolutely love them. It's the only way to do chicken, is to chop it up and spread it all over the chicken. Because the salt in here is this beautiful, gorgeous lemoniness. So anywhere at all that you use lemon, like in a pasta, say asparagus with lemon, this beautiful lemon and Parmesan cheese. My mouth's watering. Anyway, let's get on with it. And that's how you do it. So you've packed the thing with salt. And I think I might get just another one in there. Now if you need to, when you get into the top like this, you may have to use halves. We'll see how it goes. So cut it, just like that. Don't cut through. Open up. Now they should be unwaxed lemons. Now how do you tell? No idea. I don't know. So I would suspect that most local lemons are not waxed, but I don't know. So the best thing to do is just put the jug on, boil up some water, put them in a bowl, pour the boiling water over the lemons because that'll melt any wax. Take it out, put it under the cold tap and rub it all off, or a warm tap and rub it all off. And that's the best you can do. It's not poisonous or anything, but you really don't want it. And also choose a thin skin lemon, you know, not a great big gnarly lemon with 1-inch pith on it. Okay, there we go, like that. And now you can see last night I put a little bit of salt down the bottom of the jar and I packed in 3 or 4 lemons down the bottom and pushed them down with my hands and then did another layer on top. And I tried to be pretty, but it doesn't always work, but it tastes good, so it doesn't really matter. And these ones, I'm going to have a wee look and see how they fit within my jar, and they're going to fit. So push it down, see if I get the other one in. I've lost the beautiful look, but that doesn't matter. It's the lemon that counts. Push, push, push it down. And I can see there's a couple of gaps there, so I will again take that funny bit off the bottom. This time I'm going to cut this one completely in half and cut it not the way through like that, and then again salt it and push that down the side. Okay, and again. Now again I'm using sea salt here, no iodized salt please, good sea salt down the side. Oh, it's a bit of a jam. Now I'm going to wash the salt off my fingers because it hurts. Right, so there we go. We've got them stuffed in there, and you can see the liquid is gone. Is about 1/3 up, I suppose. Now I've got to get liquid to cover those lemons, so I've juiced a few. There's juice in here, and I'm going to pop that in. Now that gives you the optimum flavour, is to use juice. If you haven't bought enough lemons, or lemons are too expensive or whatever reason, you don't have any lemon juice, that's okay. It'll still taste rather good, but you can use a tablespoon of water per cup of, a tablespoon of salt per cup of water, and pop that in. And there it is. Actually didn't need all that. I thought I would need some salty water, but I don't. It pays to actually wipe off or any salt you've got around the lid if you've got a metal lid, because salt is extremely corrosive. There we go. Pop the lid on and up on your windowsill. In the sunlight, in the warmth. I bring it down in the winter off the windowsill. I've got very, very big windowsills because it's a straw bale house, but bring it down onto the bench and then back up in the sunlight in the morning and do it for about a week. It needs a little bit longer because it's so much salt in here. And have a look at them. They won't be anything near ready. And in fact, these ones here were done 3 weeks ago and they're not even close. Not even close. I opened it up the other day and looked in there and thought maybe these will be ready, but they're not. And what I've done with these ones, because they were actually kept popping up above the liquid, I found a dear little glass jar, popped that into there, and that forces them to keep their heads under the water. That's important. Otherwise what happens is you get the lemon poking out of the water and all those tops of lemons go grey and horrible, and they eventually go off and set the whole thing going in a wrong direction. So do it that way. So those ones aren't ready to taste. Now these ones were done exactly the same day, and this one I did in the Indian style, and I sliced them up into slices and packed them in. I didn't use juice, I just used the tablespoon of salt into the cup of unchlorinated water, non-chlorine water, and I popped in there some ground up black pepper and some ground roasted coriander seeds and a few sultanas I see floating in there. Got a bit carried away. And you could put chilli in there if you were a chilli fanatic. And you can see that this has actually turned and gone all soft and the way it should do early because it had more surface area. So if you're in a hurry, you can do the slice method. But quite frankly, for taste, I prefer them plain. Just plain, untouched lemons. So you can try these and see what you think. But I think if I do it this way, I will do it just plain, because they're very, very nice. Now, if you find a recipe that you absolutely love and you haven't got any preserved lemons, you have got lemons but not preserved lemons, this is the cheats version. It's not exactly full of probiotics yet, but it will be if you leave it on the bench long enough. You get your lemon and you do the same thing. You slice it, you put a tablespoon of salt inside each lemon, or you can just chop them into quarters and put a tablespoon of salt in the water. Don't cover them, but put about that much water in a saucepan and you cook them. And you cook them until they're soft and lovely, and then pop them in the jar, top it up with lemon juice or salty water, and leave them on the bench for a day or whatever, and they're basically ready pretty quickly, maybe in 3 or 4 days. It's not the true and right way of doing this, but if you're desperate, it definitely works. Preserved lemons. Now I have something in the oven that I've made. It's a bit salty and messy here, but never mind. And this will be up on Diet Easily's site because it is actually a diet recipe for 4. And what I've used here is just to give you a taste of how it turns out in food. I have chopped up the preserved lemon and put it in a roasted butternut Moroccan style rice vegan vegetarian dish. So there's almonds floating around in there, and it tastes really, really good. So you can use it for that. You can put it into salad, use the salty part for salad and salad dressings. You can use the salty part in anything you want a bit of lemony loveliness. You can put it in sour cream to top on fish or yogurt if you happen to be trying to slim down. You can do all sorts of things with it. You'll find lots and lots of ways of using this. Just don't forget you've got it at the back of your fridge, because that can happen. So there we are, preserved lemons.